We don't show prep. So, so he had no idea.
I just barely make it in.
I'm sure you can tell, but we don't show.
I mean, let's put the cards down on the table here.
Miami Hurricanes, yeah. You know the name already. It's Mercy, ha ha. It's a 6-ring Kane show. Can't forget the name though. Got Jazz, Blue, Vision, DJ, break the game code. Ain't no changing them, ain't no breaking them. Real Portland live from the Hard Rock Stadium. Ball 14 for the orange and green. We see the 6-ring champs. It's more than a dream. This is life on the field. Beyond 100 yards, a hurricane that's never still put a damage to your squad. The 6-ring Kane show. The 6-ring Kane show. The 6 Rings Kane show. You know.
What's wrong with us? Seriously.
What's wrong with us? We're Miami Hurricanes fans.
Welcome to the 6 Rings Kane Show, a show dedicated to Miami Hurricane sports, featuring the legendary Larry Bluestein, Jazz Santana, Vish, and Danny Gillette. Let's go Canes.
Good evening, everybody. We are back on the after season rendition of 6 Rings Kings. I mean, a lot has gone on. A lot has happened since our last show, man. A lot of craziness has happened. So we'll have to join this. What's up, Blue?
I said Terrence said hello. What's up?
Oh, what's up, Terrence?
TS, I called him.
TS, Terror Squad.
Sullivan.
We appreciate everybody joining us today. We've got a lot. We've actually got a lot going on. A lot of things to talk about. Let's give a shout out to our sponsor real quick here. You Break Will Fix. There you go. Here we go. Have you ever run over a pothole so hard your steering wheel shakes? Constantly losing air in your tires that you need to keep adding air? Chances are there's an issue with your wheels, and You Break Will Fix is your solution. You Break Will Fix is Miami's premier wheel repair and restoration company. With over 20 years of experience and located in North Miami, You Break Will Fix offers quick repairs for damaged wheels, and in most cases can offer free loaner wheels to keep you on the road while repairing your damaged wheels. So if your wheels are looking weathered and it's time to freshen up your car, don't replace, refinish. Their in-house wheel refinishing solutions, such as powder coating, machining, and polishing, will give your car a like-new look it deserves. So contact Mark and his staff at 305-748-0112 on all social media outlets. It's at You Break Will Fix, the letter U, Break Wheel Fix. Mention 5 reasons and get 5.5% off your next repair. You Break Will Fix powder coating and wheel repair. Located at 1848 Northeast 143rd Street in North Miami. That's 305-748-0112. You Break Will Fix. So as I mentioned earlier, a lot to get to today. We've got a lot of things, obviously. First and foremost, right? Miami Hurricanes have been set to make an appearance at have been invited to play at the Pop-Tarts Bowl, December 28th in Orlando. What is it? Camping
World Stadium.
World Stadium.
Against Iowa State, which was the runner-up in the Big 12 to Arizona State. So nice little matchup for the Hurricanes. I think a lot of people wanted to see other matchups like Colorado and Alabama just to talk trash, just to hype it up. But Iowa State's a good little program, and I think it's a good matchup for the Hurricanes. I know we've got a lot to talk about the actual game itself, who's going to be opting in, who's not. Transfer portal is going absolutely bananas, not only for the Hurricanes, but for the entire NCAA. So we've got a lot of that to talk about as well. But even before we get into all of that, I really want to talk about some great news, some exciting news. For the first time since 2002, if I'm not mistaken, the Miami Hurricanes have a Heisman Trophy finalist. So big shout out to Cam Ward, as he was named a Heisman Trophy finalist today, and will be headed to New York and hopefully get the trophy, which I know he's not.
He's a long shot at this point.
But he should.
Did Jazz freeze for everyone else, or is it just me?
Yeah, Jazz froze for me.
I mean, this is art. What we're looking at the screen right now.
It's a good picture of him, though.
Oh, you better believe I'm screen grabbing this thing.
Yeah, you got to that's a hell of a picture of him.
I mean, this is now permanent.
Coming back home after a night out, trying not to make any noise.
That is now permanently affixed in
yeah, that's
our new intro.
I mean, this is I feel this is a I've snipped the photo of him frozen for let me move him out of stream as much as funny as this is. I almost hit the technology button, or he's disappeared on his own. I'm sure he'll be back, but as Jazz was, I think, in the process of saying, Cam Ward is a Heisman finalist, which is awesome. And yeah, first one since 2002 when the Canes had two of them, Ken Dorsey and Willis McGahee at the same time. I do think this is something we kind of expected, as the season started progressing. So, but still, it's a massive accomplishment
for sure.
DJ, what are your thoughts here?
Cam Ward definitely deserves to be in a conversation with the rest of the finalists. I mean, he's got stiff competition, but I would have no problem voting him as Heisman Trophy winner. I think it's ultimately going to end up being between Genty and Hunter, but I get why Hunter is there, because him playing both ways and both sides of the football is appealing, and it's definitely impressive. I'm not acting like I can do it. I mean, clearly I can't, but I think at the end of the day, Cam Ward would get my vote, although Genty is very impressive as well. I mean, you talk about players you can, take away, the teams would be drastically different. Look no further than Ward and Genty. I mean, you take Hunter away, Colorado's still very talented, but you take either Genty or Ward away, and those rosters completely change.
Yeah, and I think, when you look at, and Dylan Gabriel is also invited. I mean, to me, there's not even a comparison in terms of years they've had. There was a lot going against Cam. I think, I think in the middle of the season, he was probably the favorite. And generally, when you're the favorite in the middle of the season, everyone kind of turns against you a little bit. And I think that happened to him. And because they start looking for the next shiny object. People can't hold an attention span for 3 months, unfortunately. So you don't necessarily want to be the front runner in the middle of the year, because then by the time it gets to the end of the year, they've moved on to the next flavor of the month. I think he was a little bit of a victim.
His internet went out.
Well, I mean, all right. Well, we'll see if we get Jazz back at some point. Yeah, he told me his internet went out completely as well. But I think when you're the front runner in the middle of the season, they start looking around for an alternative, and I do think he was overcome by quite a bit of propaganda and as DJ said, a little bit of mythologizing of some of the other players. When he's the best player in the country, and he should win the. He's not going to win it. I think we all know that, but he should.
By the way, tell Keyshawn Johnson he's not 5'10". Keyshawn Johnson. Oh, by the way, he's 5'10". No, he's not. And then someone said, Jaden, what about Jaden of LSU? No, he's 6'2". Yeah. But I will tell you this, if you didn't put anybody's picture and just put the numbers, Cam's numbers are overwhelming. Overwhelming. I mean, come on. Over 4,000 passing yards.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the ESPN puts the graphic up of as Jazz give me a thumbs up. We've got Mr. Santana backstage. Oh no, he froze again. I can see him frozen. No one else can.
Oh
Okay.
no.
All right, this could be a chronic problem here. He is frozen with his eyes closed this time. This is funny. Look, you want to know how good of a friend and co-host I am? I could add him to the stream right now, and you all would see this. And I'm not going to do that to him.
I mean, I don't know, Miss. You're having too much fun, and you're not sharing with your other friends here on stream.
I'm not doing that to him. I'm not going to put him in the stream and have him frozen in an awkward position. All right, he's back. He's moving again.
Our next show intro should be a bunch of Jazz frozen screen grabs.
I didn't do it. I wasn't going to add him to the stream like that and ruin the man's life. So, Jazz, give me a thumbs up if you're ready to attempt this. All right. Anyways, I was saying, they oh god, no, we're on the wrong box this way. Jazz goes up here, Blue goes over here. All right.
We'll see how long it holds up this time.
Yeah. Well, anyway, as I was saying, Blue, they to your point, if you put do the blind stat test, it's not even close. They ESPN on their graphic, if subtle, very subtle, Dylan Gabriel total yards, and they just listed Cam's passing yards and then put his rushing yards on there to try and make it look closer. That's what we're up against, folks. That's what we're up against.
Yeah, right. What else is expected, right?
Honestly, he and his parents get to go and have a nice time, and they treat him.
It's an honor to be. It is one of those. I know it's a little cliche. It's an honor to be invited. Like, it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
And you get to meet all the Heisman winners of years past and things like that. But honestly, I totally forgot about Dylan Gabriel. I mean, he's been in college for like 50 years. I didn't even make the connection that he was a candidate until you just mentioned it now, and then I remember seeing his name. But I mean, to me, Gabriel's had a great season, but it's like when you were talking about the records and what I think this was a couple shows, Vish, and you talked about the records and the fact that while breaking records is important, some of these players have been in college for so long, like 5-6 years, that Cam Ward, breaking a record in the middle of the season with his first season with the program is kind of a little bit more impressive.
Yeah, I mean, even that Willis McGahee season, when it was him and Ken Dorsey in the final as finalists, where he ran he had a total of 28 touchdowns. I think Gentry had 29 touchdowns, but I know he ran for almost 2,500 yards. So that's probably the biggest difference there. But some guys have had some pretty big.
The biggest difference there is back in 2002, the Canes played 11 games. Not the 13 true. That Gentry played, so
that too. That is true,
and that's why what Cam Ward was doing is impressive. He's breaking those single season records in Game 8, Game 9,
right?
Whereas, as DJ said, a lot of these stats now you play so many more games.
Wow.
Even on the season level, it's 12 games. It used to be an 11-game season. If you get to a conference championship game, all those stats count. So they lock you in after 13 games. 2 extra games, you can really add. I mean, for Cam, that's 1,000 yards passing. He plays 2 extra games. So it's a big deal that the manner in which he broke. And again, I think he's the best player in the country. He deserves to win it. And unfortunately, kind of like what we were talking about last week, deserved to be in front of Alabama. We know it's not going to happen. This is a case where he deserves to win it, but we kind of know it's not going to happen.
Well, we'll see. It should be fun. However, we've got a lot of other stuff to talk about. I did put a poll up today. I know Vish, you probably saw me put it up on our Twitter, because I just started thinking about it. I was like, imagine, right? Imagine if there was a college football NIT. How interesting would that be? So
participation trophy.
Well, it's the same thing in the NIT in basketball, yet people are excited about playing in that. And listen, at the end of the day, Blue, it's not about it's about the money. It's about the draw. And let's say you put the top 4 teams in the first 4 that were out of it, right? Let's just say, because some people were doing like a 12-team bracket. Let's say you do a top 4 and you do like Miami, Alabama, South Carolina, and someone else. Throw in another.
No, not Clemson.
It'd be Ole Miss, right? That was
Ole Miss,
Ole Miss or something like that, right?
Yeah. Miami and the SEC Invitational.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Or you can do a 12-team and then you add Colorado and.
Because then those assholes in Missouri will be in there, and I'm not doing
they would.
The 19th. Like, no, how? What is happening?
I know.
I would pay good money to see Missouri in there. Just
When
to
they were trying to jam Alabama into this thing, and they were looking at key wins, and they listed that school, my head almost exploded.
I bet. I was thinking of
Figuring
you.
out a way, man. They were figuring out a way. They were trying.
Like
They tried
key
hard.
wins in Missouri. I'm like, are you kidding me, man? Come on.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What are you gonna do? What are you?
Anyway, yeah, I think conceptual. I think the problem with that is there is no way. Okay, so we Blue and I talked about this last week. About whether, I think this is before you got on, Jazz, about whether or not kids opting out of bowl games, whether that's a good idea or not, and all of that. The idea of playing, if it's a 12-team, 4 extra games in a consolation tournament to see who's 13th place is just like insane to me.
Yeah.
A bowl game is an isolated experience. It's an experience. That's what Blue was talking about last week. They don't realize when you opt out, like it's like a week-long experience that you take with you the rest of your life. And then I do still understand why people do it. Obviously, you don't want to get injured and, cost yourself millions of dollars. So I don't think there's a right or wrong answer there. But playing 4 games of consolation football, like I can't ask people to do that.
You have enough trouble trying to get guys to play 1 game. I mean, especially with the transfer portal now. I mean, some of these rosters are honestly going to look completely different come bowl game time.
So how do you guys feel about Cam saying that he's not going to opt out? I know a lot of people are saying, just opt out, man. Like, what are you doing? Just get ready for the NFL. There's nothing else you need to prove here in Miami. But he's like, I'm going to ride with my boys again. A guy like Damian Martinez also, you know what I mean? Not opting out. How do you guys feel about that?
I kind of heard all about this on Friday night at the Chaminade game.
Blue did tell us in the
That's right,
super secret Six Rings Cane chat. So.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that, Blue?
My secret Andy Borregales, he was at the Chaminade game watching the Chaminade game, and I said, so everyone's going to opt out, man. He goes, nobody's opting out. He goes, who told you that? Nobody is.
It's kind of crazy. What are your thoughts? How do you feel about that, Blue? Let's say
you know how I feel. I'm old school, man. You don't opt out of these things. It should be a privilege to play in a game like this. They treat you really well. You have a week long of, extra practices, an opportunity for them to help the younger kids move along. You get you get a lot of good gear out of these things. A lot of people get whatever. I mean, really good stuff out of these things. And plus, you treated really well, and you're in Orlando, and you could be in worse places. So, I mean, I'm sure they'll go to a theme park or be together and go to a children's hospital, and and it'd be a good chance, like I said, for the younger kids also. Listen, Iowa State's got some dudes, and they got their quarterback is from here, so he's coming back, and he's going to want to play and show that that Ward's not the only quarterback. So I think it's going to be a really competitive game. There's going to be, you get some people. Everybody likes to come from Iowa during December, and so it's going to be. I think it's going to be well attended. I think there's a lot of fans that live in the Central Florida area and stuff that are going to go, and I know Vish will be there.
Vish,
Jazz and I are going together, actually.
Yeah, Vish and Jazz. Do you like the fact that Cam's playing, that he's not up?
Yeah, I do like the fact that Cam's playing. That shows a lot. It just, back in the day, when these guys went to the, and here's my, what are you laughing for?
He said Vish. Do you
You already answered the question, Blue. Jesus Christ. So
go ahead.
I'm messing with you. Go ahead, Blue. What were you saying?
Yeah, I like the fact that he's playing.
Is that it?
Yeah, you were saying something else.
You were saying something else, man.
Well, what? Oh, the fact that a lot of the younger kids get an opportunity to go into this game, and they'll stick a lot of stars for the future in there too, and I think it's a really good idea. And listen, where all these people, he could get hurt. Well, he could have gotten hurt in the SMU quarterback could have gotten Jennings could have got hurt last week in the play and he could get hurt in the playoffs, but they say, oh no, everyone's telling me his agent's going to swoop down at the last moment and tell him not to play. I tell the agent to pack sand up his ass. I mean, this is, I don't know. Wait till I get to the transfers.
Oh yeah.
Well, the other.
Well, at least we'll have a
the
new kick returner, by the way. But whatever, that's neither here nor there.
Let me tell you something. Wherever he goes, if anybody puts him at kick returner, they should be shot.
He's done. Well, remember, get ready. He's probably going to be a Mustang. Go ahead, Vish. I'm sorry.
I think it's, I can see why, kids might opt out just thinking financially, but
Yeah.
I don't understand why people on the internet feel the need to lecture people about, a decision that's not black and white. It's gray. It's not, as someone who has not played sports at this level, I know, Jazz, you played college baseball. Like, imagine, you have one more game you can suit up with your guys. Like, how much money is that worth, right? I don't know that's a no-brainer, because when we're talking about this amount of money and you got your family to think about and all of that, I can see, I never will blame a kid for saying, you know what, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why people feel the need to lecture him. What are you doing?
Yeah.
How can you possibly... Yeah, because he wants to put the U on one more time and run out of the tunnel and go play football with his college teammates. Like that. That's something he's going to remember 20 years from now, 30 years from now. How much is that worth, right?
Now, what would you say in the early game against Ball State and Florida A&M if you say, hey, you know what? I don't need to be playing in these games. I'm not getting hurt.
Yeah, you could win that with Emory Williams easily, so why bother?
But
right?
I'm just saying, why?
Yeah, no,
That's
absolutely.
like completely.
No, but I mean, in a way, it can be the same. It can be the same discussion, right? Because you're basically saying, why risk injury if the game, quote, isn't important?
Yeah.
Or if my value in the game isn't important, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it could
I'll wait to get hurt in the first OTA and put myself out for the year. Oh, I shouldn't have competed in the OTA.
Yeah, the other thing I would say is that a lot of people, that have been complaining about the culture around the program for a long time are the same ones saying, why is everyone not, all these kids should opt out? And it's just, well, you can't have it both ways. I mean, if you want the clearest indicator of, a program that was about to implode on itself, it was the undefeated team with a chance to go play in the Orange Bowl that got snubbed and proved to everyone that, hey, you screwed us, and make a statement about that. And the entire team decided not to play the bowl game. They got their fifth string quarterback, and they're getting beat up by Georgia starters who all showed up and played. Right? I mean, and that is one culture, and it looks like a majority of the Canes players are going to play. That's the culture you want. So again, you're telling grown men what decisions to make, and I'm not comfortable with that.
It's kind of wild what you're seeing now. I mean, I love that you brought that up, Vish, DJ, because I want to get your take on Cam Ward, but I also want to get your take on, we'll kind of close out the college football playoff discussion.
Playoff,
but actually, that sounded good. But the whole discussion about Cam Ward not opting out, but also, what do you do if you're the Georgia Bulldogs now? You're going to be without Carson Beck for the playoffs. He's done, right? He's done. Tommy John.
Yeah, but their little backup wasn't terrible.
Not great.
Okay.
You put him in against one of the best teams in the country. Come on.
Well. I still do not understand how Texas didn't pick six that duck he threw up that they intercepted. There was only one Georgia player on that half of the field, and they had blockers. They all missed the block, and then
the guy was celebrating. He wasn't blocking.
And then the defensive back and then the runner just had to make one offensive player miss a tackle. He just fell over in front of. But anyway, I did. Did everyone notice how there's vigorous debates on ESPN about whether Georgia's seed should be dropped, because when your starting quarterback gets injured, right, season over. Oh, that didn't happen. I would have lost my mind if I was a Florida State fan, because they created that whole. Didn't even mention the possibility that maybe they shouldn't be ranked second. It's an automatic bid, so they're in regardless, right?
So put them at 10th or 11th or 12th.
It didn't affect their ranking at all. No one even mentioned it as a topic. A year after they threw Florida State out of the playoffs for having an injured quarterback.
Yep.
They didn't even mention it.
I wonder why.
And that is why. This is
Waddle and Dan Mullen talking out of their ass, not knowing what the
hell. This is a warning to everyone.
Or Paul Feinbaum.
Because they almost wedged a bad Alabama team in front of an 11-2 SMU team because they lost on a 57-yard field goal. They tried to do it, but they always try to do it and it fails until it succeeds. And this is a warning to all of you non-SEC fans out there. It is coming. Look at this. Florida State, they threw out an undefeated team because this quarterback was injured. Next year, like they got like the Men in Black ray gun thing out. And no, I don't know what happened.
A little bubble popped up.
That worked nicely. Like it's as if to memory erase everyone, and it's because it's my computer. It's not the stream.
Look at all of us with the thumb.
Well, mine will pick up though, I think. But anyway, so they just all of a sudden that didn't matter at all. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're in a situation and you're not an SEC team, and you have the fake metric they invented this year, which is wins against teams over 500. It used to be record 500 and over because they always draw the line of how you do against bowl teams. Right. They changed it to over 500 because 500 and over picks up Alabama's losses because they lost to a bunch of 500 teams. So I can tell you right now, if you think like next year a team's going to be sitting there with a good record against teams over 500 with more losses, and they're going to get it over an SEC team, you're out of your mind. George
brought up a good point here in the chat that Georgia did not talk about the extent of his injury until after the bracket came out. That's a good point. That's a good point because they could have just been like, oh, he's just sore. He's day to day.
He couldn't even lift his arm.
I know he had a noodle.
Comes out and like, oh, he's out. He's not going to play.
Again, no, I'm not saying they should. I don't think they should have dropped them. I don't think they should have dropped Florida State last year, but didn't even mention it after they spent 3 weeks only talking about that last year.
Yep,
didn't even bring it up. Crazy. And whatever, they're just going to reverse engineer the next thing next year.
Right.
Oh, but don't worry because at Retribution, Bama's going to soften up their out of conference schedule, so poor Mercer is just not going to get the check this year. I mean, I feel.
I'll tell you what. It's a good thing. Those the Pop-Tarts that are chocolate fudge. You put them in a toaster and you put ice cream on top. Man,
that is very good.
What's your favorite Pop-Tart, DJ?
Ooh,
chocolate fudge.
S'mores.
S'mores one. Oh, the s'mores one is pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm a kind of old school. I like the strawberry ones.
Okay.
Those are good.
I have a little frosting with on top and then the strawberry inside. That's my kind of jam right there.
I like that.
No pun intended. Vish, what's your favorite Pop-Tart?
I can't even tell you a flavor of Pop-Tart.
Jesus Christ. I knew this was coming too because I know that Bish doesn't eat anything.
Well, also we discussed this. We had the same conversation because someone in the chat on Buckets last night was like, "What are your favorite Pop-Tart flavors?" And I didn't know one then either.
So much for show prep, Vish.
I mean, come on, man.
But the chocolate fudge one, if you're gonna eat one of those.
See, Blue's got it. The chocolate fudge one.
I'll tell you what. I had it last week. I had 2 of those before I even knew mine was
chocolate fudge, Blue. There's no chocolate fudge.
Those chocolate fudge, if you get them really hot and then put some ice cream on it, that's right, Terrence. Let me tell you something. You put some ice cream on top of that. Oh my gosh!
You guys are killing me here.
That's a good munch right there.
Ooh, sounds delicious.
Yeah, it does actually. I'm not gonna lie. All right,
we just end the show and go eat Pop-Tarts. What's happening?
I think we should. Guy, and I told everybody on Twitter, grab a Pop-Tart and come over and watch the show. So, DJ, before we close it out, man, your thoughts on Cam Ward and him not opting out and some of the other players before we get into transfers because Blue's going to have a free for all with this one.
I am too, but I think it's just so funny, and I'll just say this as a blanket statement. How many grown men get so riled up over Cam Ward's decision or any of these kids' decisions? They get so riled up. But as far as him playing in the bowl game, I love it. I totally understand the aspect of players sitting out, but I also love the fact that he's playing in the game. He wants to play with his teammates one more time. And, I think, there is always the risk of injury, but, that's the risk you take when playing football. So I love the fact that he's playing in the game and gives us one more chance to see him in a Miami uniform.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Especially that we're going to the game, Bish. You know. All right, so let's. I mean, look, listen. And I mentioned at the beginning before I was so rudely interrupted by my internet. But the transfer portal has been absolutely chaotic.
Before we do that, can we do the ad read?
Yeah. I'm actually gonna set it up really nice for you, Vish.
All right, here we go.
All right, the transfer portal has been absolutely chaotic, and it's probably even more chaotic for a lot of your fantasy teams and whatnot. But let Vish talk to you a little bit more about that.
That bouncing ball can only mean one thing. It's time to hoop. And with Underdog Fantasy, you can play higher or lower on all your favorite players, like Miami's own Tim Hardaway Jr. I love Underdog's Win Now feature, which lets you cash out whenever you want. So join over 5 million fans that are already playing on Underdog. And with their pick'em game, you could win money by making entries with your favorite players. Download the app today and use code 5REASONS to get up to $1,000 in bonus cast instantly. That's UnderdogFantasy.com and the offer code 5REASONS to get up to $1,000 in bonus cast. That is FIVEREASONS. Must be 18 or older, 19 or older in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783, or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
There it is.
Nice job, Vish.
Nice job, man. Always a great job.
Pass Vish. When the playoff had not taken my soul.
Trust me, it's a good
And the basketball team as well. Playing in Madison Square Garden against the number one team in the country tomorrow, that'll go well.
Yeah, that'll go real well.
Unless you're the women's.
That's a good time to end a 6-game losing streak, is to take on the number one team in the country in Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden's a cool venue, though, but that's about it.
Who's the number one team now?
Tennessee.
Should be fun. At least the women are doing all right, you know.
Yeah. That's where Tennessee is where Alex Schwartz went after
he did.
He went to their basketball ops now. I was tweeting with him today because he was running hours when we made the Final Four, and now he's over there the number one team.
Good juju with him.
Yeah, he took that with him. Yeah, the women did lose one game to Vanderbilt
recently.
Last week, ACC SEC challenge. No. It was not a great performance from the women.
Women are still it's pretty good ball club.
No, they're on track.
Nice.
Have they started SEC play yet? I mean ACC play?
They do on Sunday at Pitt, and then they go to Maui.
Oh, nice.
It's a nice little trip.
Transfer portal. Larry Bluestein, Vish, Danny Gillette. The transfer portal has been mass chaos, not only for the Miami Hurricanes, but, I mean, the entire country. Jeez, please. Let's start off with the Hurricanes, though, because obviously, you know, right here, the local team has had some guys opt out. The Washington brothers have decided to enter the transfer portal. You got Antonio Tripp, who we've had on the show a couple years back when he first committed. Antonio Tripp decided to enter the transfer portal as well. Robert Stafford, a promising-looking defensive back, decided to enter the transfer portal as well. You got A.J. Allen, who's someone that we kind of figured would be joining them there in the transfer portal. Also, you're probably going to see some more names. Reese Poffenbarger is gone as well, which was something that we kind of saw some coming also. But got a lot more names that are probably going to start entering the portal now. Am I missing anybody there, guys, from the Canes so far? Oh, duh. Chris Johnson entered. I'm talking
brothers.
Yeah, I'm talking the brother.
Yeah, he mentioned the brothers.
Oh, okay.
Mentioned those guys. Our superstar kick returner Chris Johnson entered the transfer portal as well. So yeah, a lot of names, and we're probably going to.
Our favorite running back has been to 11 schools. So
yep.
A.J. Allen.
A.J. Allen. I mean, we're probably going to hear some names that are going to sound surprising at first, and then it kind of makes sense that they are going to be entering. By the way, some former Hurricanes that are re-entering the portal. Collins Achiampong entered the transfer portal again from UCLA. Cyrus Moss did as well. What's the kid? Jaleel Skinner from Louisville. Don Chaney entered the transfer portal again as well.
He did? I didn't see that.
Yeah, some other former Miami Hurricanes decided to enter the portal. So, but
the grass wasn't greener.
It usually isn't, right? So unless you're a superstar, you can kind of get in and just go right away. So.
I will say from a Canes perspective, nothing really surprising so far or needle moving.
Yeah, nothing that's really been too surprising or like as you said. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, TBD's back in the which we knew once he got injured that he wasn't.
He'll end up at UConn, where I thought he should go in the first place.
Probably. That's probably not a bad option for him at this point.
He should go to the SEC because he can throw like 8 interceptions a game, and they'll say it's because of the defense.
Yeah,
they're so good.
And he'll be a hero.
He might still be a top 5 pick in the
draft. He
draft.
can do no wrong in that conference, so that's where you should go. Everyone should go there.
So nobody that's surprising on that end. But Blue, I know you had a couple of things to say about the transfer portal. There's some big names out there that Miami is looking at. I know that they've set up some visits with a few players, and there's some other players that are really intriguing. 2 of the players that I know that they have set up visits or have as potential finalists to come over is that offensive lineman, that big offensive lineman from Liberty. I forgot his name. White, I think is his last name. Yeah. Jameer White, something like that. And Thomas Castellanos is apparently visiting the Miami Hurricanes.
Love that guy.
That's another one. I know there's a couple other guys out there. What are your thoughts on the transfer portal so far, Blue, for the Hurricanes and some of the guys that you've been hearing out there that are entering?
Nobody that left was any surprise, to be honest with you. I mean, it's all about playing time. I think that Chris Johnson kind of saw the writing on the wall that he wasn't going to play. I mean, especially now, what they have in that running back room is crazy, and plus you're bringing in Pringle. So, and he figured that he wasn't going to make a living being a kick returner. And I'm sorry. I know that I get a lot of crap for that, but I don't care. Everybody talks how fast he is, but all he does is run 30 yards up somebody's back. So,
well, I mean, the key skill with kick returning is not necessarily your top speed. It's how quickly
you read the wedge and how you read.
Yeah, and how quickly you can cut and change directions. And
we got our kick returner coming in, Malachi Tony.
Yeah, no, we definitely got to talk about him a little bit too. He's been putting on a show.
Might be a quarterback also, okay?
Well,
he had state championship this week. You guys should have come down to one of these games.
Have you seen him throw the football?
He throws pretty well.
Blue talked about that last week as well, that, they just quarterback got injured. It's like, all right, we'll just put our best player back there. And except they're not. Except he's slinging it.
He played it in youth football, but he still – he still has a good arm. You never lose your arm, and it's just he. But the thing is he just
throw the football in the playoffs.
Let me tell you something. He got him in a state championship game, and that's not easy in this state. And they play an undefeated Orlando Jones team, which will be kind of with Darian Coleman.
Oh, really? It's Darian Coleman. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so
that's gonna be cool to watch.
That's Friday night at 7:30 at FIU. And then you got Chaminade. I got a chance to see Chaminade. Unfortunately, I think, what's his name? Ewald won't play.
Oh, really?
Got a concussion, which sucks because, not that they're going to need him to be Clearwater Central Catholic, but still.
I might have to join you at 7:30 at FIU to watch that game, man.
Yeah, Thursday. You got Wednesday night Chaminade game at 7:30. Thursday night, you have St. Thomas is playing against Lakeland. That's Thursday night. Then Friday night, you have Heritage and Orlando Jones. And then Saturday night, you got Miami Northwestern and Reigns. So those are pretty good nightcaps for all those games. And then during the day, you got, all the South Florida teams are playing at night, it looks like. And they probably saved the best one for last as far as attendance because
By the way,
that.
shout out to Teddy Bridgewater, first year head coach.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
Northwestern taking him to the state.
And that's Friday night. Saturday night is the last game, so that FIU will be packed. Willie Simmons needs to step out there and see what a real
oh yeah
what a real crowd is. But
speaking of Willie Simmons, obviously there's a couple guys at FIU that also enter the transfer portal that are big names. Keon Jenkins, the quarterback, local product.
We'll be taking a visit to Miami as well, I hear.
He can sling it a little bit. And Eric Rivers, their standout wide receiver, who's a stud. He's a stud. I know Miami's looking at him. There's a couple other wide receivers out there, Concepcion, Isaiah Bonds, who's leaving Texas, the Texas program. I know Jonte Cook is as well, but I think he's going to the SEC. You got some big names there. At running back, you got some big names. The kid Hardy from Louisiana Monroe.
But Miami don't need really a lot of any running backs now. They'll
probably take a guy though. Portal maybe not a Damian Martinez.
Yeah, are we sure? I mean, Damian Martinez does not have to leave.
He doesn't have to, but he's probably going to grade out as one of the better running backs, I think, in this draft. But I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. But if he stays, Jesus, right?
He's an NFL tackle kid, so that's. He reminds me, like I said, he reminds me of Javaris James back in the day. He runs tackle to tackle, and he's just going to bull. But you know what? He may like the environment down here enough to stay for another year, maybe because there's a lot of running backs coming into the draft, probably more so than I've seen.
Right.
And so Genty definitely is going to be a guy.
Oh yeah, he'll be the first guy, obviously. I don't know, man. Like, there's so much going on out there with so many different players, and obviously the offensive lines. You've got that kid White. You've got got a couple Alabama kids that are entering the portal.
Like 7 of them.
I mean, we're hunting for a center again. It looks like in the portal.
We are hunting for a center. The kid from Kentucky. There's a couple of guys from Kentucky. Mm-hmm. Dane Key, the other big kid from Kentucky. I think that's
the big guard. The big guard kid.
Yeah, the big guard. There's a defensive tackle. There's a linebacker. I believe that's a really good player.
There's another wide receiver too, Brown, I think. Barron Brown?
Yep, Barron Brown. Barron Brown, that's right. Or something like that, I think. Yep. There's a lot of guys out there. How about the quarterback over from Tulane, Darian Mensah?
I saw him yesterday.
Let's put it this way. If you're Miami, right, what are you attacking first and foremost? Oh, I got an answer for you, the defense. See what I did there? The defense. There's some cornerbacks out there that are entering the transfer portal as well. The kid from UCF, what is it? Chensei Johnson. The kid the kid Johnson from UCF is entering the portal. You've got some pretty good portal cornerbacks and safeties. The safety from Louisville who entered the portal early in the season. You've got some big names out there. Blue, what would you, if you're the Miami Hurricanes, who are you going after hard in the portal?
Defensive secondary, baby.
Yeah. Any names
you're going to have to get some more interior linemen.
Who are some of the names that pop out to you?
Because the $12 million that you spent this year didn't work out too well. So
yeah, no shit. Blue, any names?
Who else is out there? That I'm trying to think. Who else is out there?
I don't know. DJ, what about you? I know you probably got.
DJ scours that list.
Oh wait, so before DJ, I'm gonna have you speak on this guy right now.
Okay.
All right. Dylan Raiola has been rumored that Miami is on the hunt for Dylan Raiola.
Really? He's leaving? Him and his dad both leaving?
That's the talk. There's a rumor, and apparently it's not substantiated. It's apparently has legs. It's apparently pretty serious.
Yeah.
We like to do that here. We don't do any of that other crap. Let's do it. Dylan Raiola to Miami, DJ.
That'd be a nice one.
Yeah, that would be a big get for Miami. He's a very good pocket passing quarterback. He's not a mobile quarterback, but he has the arm. He has the game sense, and he has the ability to see the entire field. And you pair him up with these Miami receivers, the ones coming in, and it's a match made in heaven. So I'm very interested to see where that goes, and I'm wondering what the price point will be, because Nebraska paid him a hell of a lot of money to get there. So I'm wondering what Miami would theoretically pay to bring him to Coral Gables.
He's got some roots down here in Coral Gables as well, doesn't he, Blue?
Yeah, he does. His mom, I think, is from down here. Is he not? Isn't his dad part of the package or something?
His dad is a legend.
No,
Nebraska.
That's why I said
the offensive line coach.
I'm gonna go out and say this. Maybe this will blow up my face. In fact, I hope it does. This isn't happening.
No, it's not.
Nebraska. He's staying in Nebraska. What are we doing?
Well, I'm saying, man. I'm just saying. This rumor apparently is gaining some steam.
I know you didn't make it up. I know I saw that too, and you know, some legitimate people say they're hearing that. I would be shocked if you. No. I mean, look, there's the people that make stuff up, and there's the people that don't, right? And I kind of am where DJ, I guess, was implying. Where's the money at? It could just be a leverage play.
Sure,
kick in a little bit more money here. I don't think he leaves Nebraska. Period.
I don't think so either, because his brother's already committed to Nebraska. His uncle's the offensive line coach. His father was, an Outland Trophy winner for the program. I really don't think he leaves Nebraska unless the money's there. If the money's there, I could see him leave.
That would be crazy if he does.
Well, I think it's money. I think you float the rumors out there and all that to get more money out of the program you're with too.
I sent you a cheat sheet.
Okay, I love this. I'm just reading it right now. Hold on.
Oh my God! Like I'm supposed to read all this.
Blue in our
private chat posted.
If anybody asks you next time, you'll know.
I'm pretty sure, based on the way that there's just an F at the end of this, that there's more in it cut off.
Yeah, well.
I've never had the sugar cookie one.
Something else frosted was in there.
Listen, that chocolatey chip pancake Pop-Tart. Jesus Christ.
Blue has posted for those. Obviously, no one can see it, but us. Blue in our private part of the stream posted
donut Pop-Tart.
Posted a list of flavors of Pop-Tarts there.
Sounds like I'm gonna have a heart attack. Is what that sounds like.
The next time somebody asks you what your favorite Pop-Tart is,
I feel like that'll never happen again.
I'll tell you what, though, that strawberry milkshake thing looks pretty good.
Oh my gosh, this is terrible. I
think I'll take the ride to Orlando during the week just to get some of these.
Hey, listen.
They sell them at Publix locally, by the way, Blue. You don't have to go
we might have to get some Pop-Tarts for our morning tailgate over in Orlando for the game.
I mean, we're driving up and back the same day. So
yeah,
I've done that a million times.
Honestly, I think I might do the same thing.
It's easier coming back because you relax, you don't have anywhere to get to, and you know.
I might just bright line it up and back,
Where does the bright line take you to? How far away from the stadium?
Bright line
stadium to get
close to the airport, so it's not far from the stadium. You can always Uber to the stadium for a couple bucks. All right, Muhammad, we'll see you there, baby. We'll see you there.
This is the one that's got. This is the guy that's got everyone salivating. I think. Purdue's freshman safety is one of the better.
Your only player
safeties in the country. He's in the portal.
Yeah, he's the only guy, the only good one.
I hope they all leave Purdue.
I gotta say, when you're on a even if you're a great player, when you're in a defense that bad, you got to pick up some bad habits. Like no one's in position, everyone's scoring all the time. Like how
defense better?
That was all like our defense.
Was it better than ours or worse than ours?
No, it was. Purdue was one of the worst teams in the country.
Yeah,
they're completely awful. Like I mean, this is. I do wonder a little bit when you take, especially at a position like that.
Yeah,
how much they were really because the team's scoring regardless. It's a tough one to then transition into playing competitive, essentially, because they were not. They finished 1-11, 0-9 in the big. They were 10.
Miserable this year. Yeah.
Here's another name.
Give up 479 points.
Miller Moss.
From USC.
Yeah, a kid from USC is another name in the transfer.
Yeah. He got beat out by the guy who came from UNLV.
That's right.
Who's not bad at all.
UNLV will be in the NIT playoff.
Yeah, but after this year, they'll probably be in the bottom 10 again. Freaking Odom leaves, and he takes everybody with him. So
Speaking of Odom, wide receiver Caleb Odom from Alabama has entered the portal as well. That kid was a 5-star wide receiver. Cam Coleman, another kid who's entered the transfer portal for Auburn.
Yeah, this is early too. Wait till January comes in.
Yeah, we have seen some players off of playoff teams under the portal too, which is
Isaiah Bonds, Jonte Cook was earlier, but it's weird, man. I mean, some Georgia guys I think have entered the portal as well.
Yeah, they've lost some guys,
right?
Including a receiver named Nitro something from Georgia.
Nitro
Tuggle. Yeah,
yes,
I mean,
he can run.
Yep.
Nitro.
What a name, right?
We got to get him in here just for the name.
Nitro. I mean, Tuggle would be a legacy name here too, right? So wouldn't that be kind of cool to have a Tuggle here? Is it
Tuggle here, Tuggle there, Tuggle everywhere?
We have a Tuggle.
Do we have a Tuggle?
We have a Tuggle.
Do we have a Tuggle?
It's not Jesse, no.
No, Jesse
Tuggle used to play for the Falcons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he wasn't a Kane.
Jesse Tuggle.
We've had a Tuggle.
No,
I don't remember a Tuggle.
No, maybe I'm thinking about
Tuttle.
No, is it Tuttle?
I don't know. If Blue doesn't remember a Tuggle, there was no Tuggle.
Never mind. Nigel Tuggle, get over here.
Nigel Tuggle.
I want that.
On the quarterbacks, just real quick. I think we're kind of in a similar, but probably a little bit stronger position than last year. In that, Emory Williams is a really good quarterback, and so you really do need to. I know basically every quarterback that enters the portal is like, oh, I gotta get It's got to be like you mentioned the kid from Tulane. There's maybe one or two other guys. Other than that, you're just gonna ride with Emory because like there aren't that many quarterbacks better than him, and certainly not that many that are entering the portal. Because again, these are, God, I'm forgetting. I'm especially the Oklahoma kid entering the portal too, and we got
Jackson
Arnold. Yeah, Jackson Arnold. Yeah, Miller Moss. Like these guys all lost their jobs at big programs. I mean, you got to make sure you're upgrading for Emory, and actually that patience paid off for the Canes last year because they waited on Cam Ward when everyone wanted them to panic for DJU.
Here your quarterbacks that are
which is funny at this point, but at the time,
they also got very lucky with Cam Ward too.
No, but DJ, my point on that was, if it wasn't going to be Cam Ward, they were just going to ride with Emory Williams,
right?
Which I think is still the case now. Like if you don't get one of the top guys, you're just going to ride with him. You don't need to settle.
Got and Luke Nickel coming in.
You got Nickel. You still got Judd Anderson for depth. So you got. I mean.
Yeah, you got to give Emory a shot.
Well, if you get someone that you're like, this guy's just better, them's the breaks, man. Sorry.
Well, here's the question.
If he don't get to next year, he'll leave and he'll go on the portal.
But again, those are the breaks, right? If there was obviously Cam Ward's the best player in the country, not going to get another one at that level. But if there was someone out there of that level, of course you'd be like, Emory, too bad.
So check
what are you going to do?
Here are the top 10 quarterbacks that are in the transfer portal already. And the big question is, and Vish, you just mentioned this, right? Eligibility. How much eligibility do they have? Because if it's a guy that's coming in that has 3 years of eligibility, that might be worth a guy that comes in and battles with Emory, and then he's still there. He could potentially come in and be the guy behind him and still develop. For instance, a guy like Darian Mensah, right? 3 years of eligibility remaining. A kid from LSU, 6'3", 200 pounds. But the problem is he threw for 2,700 yards and 23 touchdowns, only 6 picks. So the kid's already has some moxie. He's got some playing time under his belt. Number 2 is Miller Moss, 1 season remaining. He, as you mentioned, Blue lost his spot to Mayava, whatever. Jackson Arnold, Jackson Arnold's got two seasons left. He's probably going to want to go to a place where he's going to start right off the bat. Another guy that we haven't even mentioned, Connor Wigman. Now, do we really want a guy like Connor Wigman?
That's
it's an interesting name. It's an interesting name, but is he a guy that could come in and
isn't Connor Wigman the A&M kid?
Yeah, he's in the transfer portal again.
He played pretty well against us last year, actually.
He did. Yeah, he's got 2 years left. Caden Salter, who's a kid that he kind of digressed. Yeah, he regressed.
That's the dude who was at Liberty in the.
We spent a lot of time talking about Caden Salter last offseason, and then he did enter the portal.
Yeah, he did enter. Now he's entering. Devin Dampier, Blue, is a kid from New Mexico, two
Yeah.
seasons remaining. He's a sophomore. He is a little bit on the shorter side at 5'10", but probably fits our style of offense either way. Then you've got Anthony Calandrio, the kid from Virginia, with 2 seasons remaining. He's transferring. I don't think he's all that good, but you never know. Thomas Castellanos, 1 year.
I like Thomas Castellanos.
So do I. I think the kid that a lot of people like also is a kid out of Marshall, Braylon Braxton, who's a kid that's entering the transfer portal, only has 1 year of eligibility left. And then right now, Mikey Keene from Fresno State, 1 year left. So
there you go. You got the list of all the guys.
That's the ESPN top 10. That doesn't mean crap at the end of the day. But at least those are some names that, right off the bat, you can kind of think about.
I like Castellanos. I like the way he plays. I like he would fit in this type of offense really well.
I agree. I like a kid like that, maybe a kid like Bensa, especially with so many years of eligibility left. But Castellanos is a kind of kid. I mean, even a kid like Connor Wigman, I think Miami should definitely take a look at. I just feel like he's a good player, man. With the right guys around him, I think he can do well. Yes, Julian Humphrey is a kid.
Yes, he's a nice looking kid.
That's a kid that I think that Miami
from Georgia.
Yep, the safety from safety or cornerback from Georgia.
I like him. DJ, does Castellanos still hanging out in Boston? Maybe you could get him to play.
Yeah, man. Give him a call.
Maybe. He regressed a little bit at the end of last season, but I still like the way he plays. I mean, truth be told, it does kind of take quite a bit to get.
He's got wheels, and he's got a pretty good arm.
He does have wheels.
He also plays for Boston College, guys. So not necessarily the best.
Hey, BC's going to a bowl game.
Best weapons.
Yeah, everybody's going to a bowl game. Let's be real here. If you get 6 wins, you're going to a bowl game.
Yeah.
There's a couple of teams that are going
not
to
Florida State
because they got to play Alabama, so got that 6 win out of the way. Oklahoma and Vandy. The reason they're bowl eligible is because they got Alabama.
Is Oklahoma and Vandy playing each other?
No, but they got bowl eligible. Their 6th win was because they beat Alabama.
Yep.
So lucky they got that cupcake on the schedule.
And so my question to you guys is: any of those guys, Vish, that you'd be interested in bringing in to give them a shot?
King is not in the portal, George.
No, King is not in the portal. No. King was also at A&M at one point. By the way.
Yeah,
I remember that.
And speaking of Georgia Tech, Eric Singleton.
Oh yeah, no, he's big time kid.
Yep. So Vish, that question, do you or who would you bring in to compete with Emory, or as far as right now, right? Everything can change in 2 or 3 weeks. You can have freaking Jalen Milroe enter the portal, but I'm just saying, you can have anybody. But
so I actually wouldn't take Jalen Milroe or Emory Williams.
Who would you take?
I would definitely I would take a look at Mensah from Tulane. To me, I think when you look at, again, it's been a year since we've seen Emory play real ball, and he broke his arm in the process, and he was raw. But he does have arm talent. He can make throws that Dawson needs him to make. So looking to the way I see you upgrading from that is someone that can also make plays with his legs. I think Emory's a better thrower of the football than Castellanos, so I don't know that I would swap that.
I agree.
But Castellanos gives that ability to run, though, Vish.
No, there is that, but I would. But that's why I'm kind of on the fence on whether I would do that, just because I think with Dawson's offense, it's more important to be able to throw the ball.
Yeah.
He puts a lot on the quarterback, and some of them, Tyler Van Dyke couldn't handle the complexity. But I think it's a premium on being able to throw the ball, and so I kind of look for that. So for me, I like Emory, to be honest.
I think that Georgia Tech and Vandy playing Birmingham this.
That'd be a nice little game to catch.
Yeah, the funniest one is the BYU and Colorado are playing.
And Alabama, right? San Antonio?
Yeah, BYU and Colorado are playing?
Yeah, even though they're in the same conference.
I didn't even look at hardly any.
So. Well, it's a conference game, but
that's
it's not.
Crazy.
Because when the Pac-12 imploded, their bowl tie-ins were still there, so the teams that used to be in the Pac-12 can still go to their bowl games. So Colorado is going as a Pac-12 team to the
USF got a really good bowl game to Hawaii to play San Jose State.
Oh, that's nice. Oh yeah. Good question here from George about the coordinators. Are we losing both the OC? So the only way that my answer is the only way we lose Shannon Dawson is if he takes a head coaching gig somewhere.
Marshall is. I heard that could be a landing spot for him.
For Dawson, yeah, he could take Lance Guidry back over there with him if he wants.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, I
Get
think
two birds with one stone there, buddy.
no kidding. DC wise though, I think the bowl game is Guidry's last game here. If you ask me, I think that Mario is not going to make any changes until after the bowl game, which makes sense because at this point, early signing period has already passed. So you're still going to have to do some new recruiting anyways to get some guys in before February. I would probably just let him, do what he's got to do and kind of move on from there. The question is now, if they kick ass, if the defense kicks ass in the bowl game, now everybody's going to ask the same question. Well, maybe it wasn't this, maybe it wasn't that, maybe Coach Goodry.
They're not going to kick ass.
No.
No.
Listen.
I know you could dream, but the whole thing is you are what you are is what you are, and we've shown that.
But I would just on the defensive coordinator front, Mario works very slowly and deliberately through these situations. I wouldn't expect any kind of quick,
right?
December 29th.
After January.
He might have told Guidry already, hey, you've got a shot. Go look for something. I won't say anything until then.
Yeah, and the other thing is Mario also is deliberate in a very good way, which is he's not going to, if he decided to keep Guidry, he already did. If he didn't, he already didn't. He's not going to watch the bowl game.
No, nothing's good. If he made up his mind, he made up his mind.
Either way, if he made up his mind, the defense could do what they've been doing the last month of the season. And if Mario's already decided he wants another year with Guidry, he's still going to be here, even if they get lit up by Iowa State and vice versa. If he's decided to move on, they could pitch a shutout and he's still going. And in a way, the way Mario handles this is annoying, but not in a way it is annoying flatly. But the one thing he does do is deliberately work through this type of thing. So there's not. I know everyone wants the instant. I know when we went live right after that Syracuse game, I was like, he should already be fired.
Yep.
We all want that instant thing. I don't expect any kind of quick decision to be made. Yeah.
I think you're right.
The defensive coordinator will be named in March. You watch.
well, in a way, you kind of can get away. I mean, think about how Mario was hired too. He's coming here. We didn't fire Manny. He was just sitting here. No, but in a way, when you're dealing with coordinators, you can always go get someone off of someone's staff. You don't need to rush into it. It's I better snap this. Other than Manny Diaz, you generally don't hire a head coach and then have him leave immediately without coaching.
Right. And
so you do have to be very quick. Let me get the top guy that I want, because otherwise they'll go somewhere else. And, most, other than Manny Diaz, I can't recall another time where they took a job, then left to take another new job like that. But for coordinators, now you can pull them off any staff you want. Just give them the money. So there, you can be a lot more deliberate and selective there, because if you want a guy, go get him, pay him. Take him off someone else's staff. That's fine.
That's all you got to do. We'll answer some more questions on that as it happens, if it happens, as far as who the next DC will be or who the next this and that'll be. But in the meantime, right now, the coaches are the coaches, the players are the players. We'll continue to monitor the transfer portal. As every day that changes, new players are added to the transfer portal, so you will see some new names in there from Miami Hurricanes and others, and we'll bring it to you every time we do a show. The next show will be next week, obviously, as we're still covering, as I mentioned, the transfer portal news, bowl coverage, practices. We got 3 weeks before the bowl game now?
Yeah, we got 2 more shows, I think,
right after the 28th.
So
2 more shows, and then we've got the game. So just keep it locked here. We'll probably do a show. You want to do a show? A couple days before Christmas? Why not? Right? What the hell?
Yeah, the 23rd.
Let's do it. Yeah, 23rd or whatever. 23rd is a Monday.
Yeah, it's the 9th today, so 16th, 23rd.
Yeah, you're right. All right.
Yep.
23rd is our next show.
Well, no, we're doing next week too, right?
I'm sorry.
We canceling the show. What happened?
Before the game. That's right. Our last show.
At some point, I will actually look at Iowa State a little bit. We'll maybe be able to actually talk. I can't name a player to be actually. I can't name a couple, but like I haven't watched a lot of Iowa State football to really like.
Isn't Purdy over there, the kid from FSU?
No, he transferred to. He's transferred like 5 times now.
His name is son. Used to play for the Bucks. He's the quarterback. He led the Big 12 in passing.
Max? No, not Max Johnson.
No,
I don't have no idea. For the Bucks?
Yeah, his dad just played for the Bucks.
Just played for the Bucks? Tom Brady?
Yeah, about 15 years ago.
One day, probably.
Tom Brady.
Someone will tell us. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, why is no one yelling at us in the chat?
Speaking of sons, Rocco Becht.
Rocco Becht.
Gotcha.
His dad used to be the off lineman at the Rocco Becht led the Big 12 in passing.
Interesting.
He had 3,700 yards or something crazy.
Transfer portal guy? Maybe. You never know.
Yeah, Rocco Becht. No, he's not leaving.
But you know who did leave? E.J. Warner transferred out of Rice.
Yeah. Well, basically, I wouldn't stay at Rice either, but
no kidding.
Great education, but that's it. All right, I got the show and tell if you want.
Show and tell before we get out of here.
Let's do it.
Okay, this is back in 2004, Miami was picked 4th in the nation, 1st in the ACC.
Ooh,
Antrell Roll on the cover. Okay. Inside, we had a little bit of Antrell right there. And then we had, sorry. Can you see?
Wait, who is that?
That's Ryan Moore in the bottom left.
Oh, that is Ryan Moore. I thought it was 35. It's 85. That's Alfonso Marshall behind Antrell in that photo.
Alfonso Marshall behind.
So there you go. But Vish, what did they finish in 2004?
9-3. I think they're 9-3. They beat Florida in the.
They have Tyrone Moss. I forgot here.
Oh yeah. They beat Florida in the Peach Bowl that year.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because they picked them at the beginning of the year to finish 1st in the ACC and 4th overall.
Yep, that was the inaugural ACC season. And then lost to Virginia Tech, then Tennessee. Wait, no, Tennessee was the previous year. All right, Virginia Tech was the last game of the year.
10-6 game or crazy.
Yeah. Which actually the Canes would have gone to the championship game if they didn't lose that.
It's always gonna be one game.
I know, but so 2004 was the year where they played Virginia Tech at home in the last game and lost 16-10. And oh man, I hate to do this, but Eddie Royal smoked Antrell Roll for the winning touchdown, caught a slant and ran right past him and ran 70 yards for a touchdown. That was
Miami
the winning touchdown.
Preseason All ACC players and Ryan Moore and Eric Winston.
Wow.
And one defensive player, two, Antrell Roll and Orion Harris.
All right. Dylan Raiola reassures Nebraska fans he's locked in despite transfer portal.
Tell him he's not leaving there.
He's not leaving there.
The guys that we're talking about, Jaheim Otis. That's the kid from Alabama. And Isaiah Hunter.
We'll pick up more next week on the transfer portals.
Yeah, man.
Because, boy, there's going to be news.
It's hard to keep up now, man. This is crazy. Oklahoma safety / linebacker Kendall Daniels entering the portal.
All right. We'll save them for next week. Might not have that much content.
Jesus. Micah Hudson. That's another guy, right, that we didn't talk about earlier. The kid from Texas Tech.
Just naming some dudes.
Man, crazy. I can't keep up. The kid from Virginia Tech, the safety from Virginia Tech, Mose Phillips. Yeah. Him. Braylon Moore, the center. Look here, we need a center. Braylon Moore from Virginia Tech entering the portal.
All right. Well, keep some of those names for next week. We'll probably need content.
I gotta keep going. I can't.
No shit. Then you'll do You'll do it all by yourself.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next Monday. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Six Rings Canes as well. Adios.
Adios.
Yeah.
The Six Ring Cane Show. Yeah. The Six Ring Cane Show. Yeah. The Six Rings Cane Show. You know,